Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video, y'all. So, for today's video, it's gonna be a little bit different. I kind of wanted to have like minimal makeup on and just kind of talk with you guys because I feel like I've been getting more requests now than ever for advice for up-and-coming content creators, influencers, people who want to get in the beauty space. There's a piece of hair in my eye. And I just figured like I have so much to say about this, and I've been doing this for like 4.5 years now. It'll be 5 years in May, and I do feel like I've learned a lot, and I really want to share it with you guys. Like, I feel like there's a lot of good tips and tricks that I have, and also some of the that they don't tell you, you know what I mean? I actually even jotted down some notes because I have a lot of things I want to say. Pretty much, I want to just talk about the pros and cons of being in social media and ways to possibly grow your platform and get brands to notice you and things like that. So let's get on into it. Gotta take a sip. Oof, this is also the third video I've filmed today. Look at how many notes I have in here, you guys. So I would say my number one tip before we even get into the nitty-gritty of things is your audience is everything. It doesn't matter if you have 10 million followers, if you have 10,000 followers, if you have 1,000 followers, if you have 15,000 followers, if you have 100,000 followers, your audience should always remain your number one priority. That's at least what I like to do. And it's taken me, you know, just like trials and tribulations of things to kind of like realize that. Even for the people that are watching, like for people that don't want to get into the beauty world and just want to know some of the tea or whatever, like I'm nothing without my audience. And I always think that that is the number one thing to remember when being in social media is like you get opportunities because of your following, and you always want to remain true to your following. I would say that is the most important thing in the influencer world. Obviously, there are so many pros to my job. Like, I cannot believe that I get to sit down and film and talk with you guys. Like, I am so blessed and so just incredibly happy, and a lot of hard work has come into that. Like, a story that I always tell people is when I was living at home in New York with my family, I couldn't afford lighting, so what I would do was I knew the sunrise would hit perfectly at 7 a.m. in my living room, so I would always kind of like position myself and get my ass up early in the morning and film and just do makeup looks and do things because I was like, damn, okay, I gotta make do with what I can. I always say that, like, you know, you can start with no matter what, because that's what I did, you know? And I know that things are different than how they were when I first started, but I think if you have the drive, you can really do anything you set your mind to. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of things, because I want to also talk about like mental health in the beauty world. And actually, like, for the first time ever, I actually admitted to Riley something, and I've never really said it out loud, but sometimes I do feel like this beauty world can destroy me from the inside out. I don't say that lightly, and I was like, damn, I've never said that out loud, and it feels weird because it's something that I've always thought but have never really said. So obviously there are a lot of like pros to this job, like I've said, but there are a lot of cons and a lot of shit that people don't tell you, which is what I want to focus on today, and just like stuff like that. So number one, I have written down mental health. Being in social media kind of means sacrificing your mental health a little bit. So what I have written down here is like, if you do have mental health issues, just be aware that being online and in any community, whether it be the beauty world, the gaming world, the lifestyle world, if you have mental health issues, just be aware that social media and just the whole world of it all can affect that. I would say about 80% of the time when my mental health is bad, it's something work related. And I know I touched on this in a couple of my other videos, but like, you also have to remain with the mindset of like, everybody is on their own path. You can't measure your success to other people's in the industry that you're trying to do, you know? It's hard. And I have to remind myself all the time, but you know, it is what it is. People post what they want to post online. People aren't posting the hardships. A 30-second video or a photo is very deceiving to what's actually going on behind the scenes. I had y'all tricked for 3 years. For 3 years, you guys thought I was in an amazing, loving relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. With that leading into my next point, and I'm so sorry, I feel like this is going to be such a lengthy video, but I have so much that I want to say, and this is also kind of like a little venting session to me, like a little tell-all session for me as well. Like, it's therapeutic that I'm able to like sit here and kind of help you guys out and talk about my experiences, so that way maybe you won't make the same mistakes that I've made in the past, or like, you know now, you know better than to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Leading into my next point, and I'm sorry if I'm looking down at my phone, like I literally just have written so much here of what I want to say. Like, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Another big thing like on the mental health topic is like always making sure you have someone there for you that you can vent to in a non-judgmental type of way, because you're gonna need that. Whether it be a family member, a friend, a counselor, a life coach, a therapist, your dog, anybody who can listen to you about this industry and about the struggles of it, I hands down recommend. Like, you guys know I have a life coach that I talk to on the reg, and I wish I had a life coach from when I started, because it would have just made my mental health and just the way that I perceive things so much better. So I definitely recommend that if you are interested in starting this business, because at the end of the day, this is a business, to have a friend, a life coach, someone you can talk to that's not going to judge you. Keeping shit bundled up inside is the worst thing in the world. Being in social media is a very difficult job that I think people do not understand, and it's a lot of mental abuse, and having someone there for you to just listen to unconventionally and not really judge you is what you need. Like, basic needs to start. And then this is gonna lead me into my next little segment. Oh my god, I love this. I love how I have like my little leadaways. I feel like I'm doing like my college presentation. Like, I used to do this, I was in a public speaking class and I friggin' loved it, and I swear to you, it has helped me so much with like social media and just like talking to you guys on a camera. So like, even if you are a little bit nervous and like whatever, I would highly recommend doing some like communication classes or like some public speaking thing, research, like doing stuff like that like helps so much. So y'all already know, if you're sitting here watching me, you already know, and if you're already trying to be a content creator or an influencer, however you want to identify, you already know that there is a lot of motherfucking work that goes into this. There's a lot of hard work that goes into being a content creator that I think the average person doesn't know and doesn't get. Like, a lot of people think a job is from 9 to 5. Social media is 24/7. 24/7. Like, I have to constantly remind myself to turn it off, check out, like, and that's a big thing. My brain is constantly thinking of like, okay, I'm gonna film this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get this done. Oh, I haven't posted an IGTV in a while, maybe I should do that. Oh, I haven't posted on my stories in a minute, let me go say what's poppin'. Oh my god, I gotta get on Twitter. Ooh, TikTok. Oh my gosh, what about YouTube? Like, there's so much that goes into this that a lot of people don't get, and it's okay. A lot of people think like, oh, you just sit behind a camera and talk to the camera, do your makeup and look pretty. It's so much more than that. And you will encounter people like that will tell you like, oh, you have such an easy life. Like, I literally was at a party once and this girl was like, it must be nice to just like get to take selfies for work all day. And I'm like, is that what you think I do? But you can't let those people affect you. You know what I mean? That's like the number one thing. And it's not that simple. If it was simple, everybody would be doing it. If it was as easy as just taking selfies or doing your makeup or whatever, however you want to say it. And I feel like even more now, it's even more cutthroat than it used to be. You know, like back in the day, you used to be able to get reposted on Huda's page or Vegas Nay's page, Tarte, brands pages, and you would grow thousands. Like, there were times where I would be growing 30,000 followers in a 24-hour period on Instagram. But it's just not like that anymore. Don't get discouraged, because even I have days where I'm like, wait, why didn't that photo get a lot of likes? I look popping in that photo. What the hell? Like, I have felt a little bit stuck in my kind of space for a little bit, but you know what? It is what it is. It's kind of like finding ways now to be unique and to be yourself. Because I feel like as long as you always stay true to yourself and show your personality and show who you are, I always think that the following will come. You never want to be an overnight success, because as quick as it comes is as quick as it goes. You know what I mean? We want to go slow and steady up that ladder. A lot of this is all algorithm based anyway. Like, Instagram sucks now. Like, it sucks. It is what it is. And a lot of brands know that too. So don't beat yourself up about the numbers, because it's so much more than that. Amika actually put on their Instagram stories the other day, and I loved it. I applauded them. They were posting about, like, a following doesn't mean much. It's about your content and about what you put into your efforts and how you show yourself. And I think that that's so much more important than the numbers nowadays, being real to yourself and being true to who you are. And one last thing I want to talk about before we get into more of the brand aspect of things and the audience aspect of things. Once you start to grow, there will be some people in your life, maybe you went to high school with, maybe they're family members, maybe they're friends, who knows, that will start looking for handouts. It's a very common thing. People that think they know you will come out of the woodwork, or at least in my experience, this is how it's been. And one thing I will say is you have to protect yourself, your platform, and your audience, and not let people walk all over you. Like I said, sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's coworkers, sometimes it's people you went to middle school with, elementary school with. You have to protect yourself and your business at the end of the day, and you can't let that affect you either. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, now moving more to the brand aspect of things and money aspect of things and whatever. So number one, like I was saying before, always remain true to yourself, and your audience is your number one priority. I have always kind of lived by that. There have been some brand deals that I've turned down that are astronomical amounts. And I'm not saying that lightly, I'm being completely honest with you guys. But the reason I turned it down was because I don't either believe in the product, or I don't like what the brand stands for, or I don't whatever it may be. You just have to always remain authentic and true to yourself, because your audience will see right through it. You know what I'm saying? People know, and your audience is why you are where you are. So you always want to remain true to them. When I go on brand trips, I'm thinking, okay, this is incredible, but if it wasn't for my followers, I wouldn't even be here. That's just the way my mind works. And I am not saying that to get a pat on the back. I'm just being completely honest and sharing my advice for up and coming influencers, because you always want to remain humble and remember where you came from. Put yourself out there. Be weird. Be funky. You know what I'm saying? The other day, I filmed a video on how to fill in your hair. I was so uncomfortable because I was literally showing you guys how sparse and bald my hair looks. I just know it helped people, be vulnerable. Put yourself out there. You want to do something fun and different on your channel? Do it. You want to play around and do funky looks and, be a little risque on your channel? Do it. There is an audience for everyone. And also the opposite. If you're shy, don't feel like you have to spice it all up and be a crazy chameleon. Be yourself. Always be yourself, because people love that and they want to be able to relate to you. The shy person that's watching me right now, maybe they can't relate to me because I'm not a shy person. You know what I mean? But there are shy people out there that are looking for other shy people to relate to. So don't think oh my God, I have to be a one-woman circus and do all this crazy for people to like me. It's not that. People want to know the real, raw, authentic you always. So be yourself and don't be afraid to take risks. And also, I will link down below some of the lighting and stuff like that that I first used when I was on a bit more of a tight budget. You wouldn't even know, girl. I filmed with these lights for so long. Like, I've only had my Kino Flows for about like a year and a half. So they do the trick and they get the job done. I'll link everything down below, but utilize what's around you and don't make excuses. Get up at 6 in the morning. Get up at 7 in the morning and get that light. You know what I mean? Get that golden hour light. Get that morning sunrise light. You know what I'm saying? Like, utilize. Like, if I could do it, you can do it. All right, next portion. Let me grip back open my notes. My dad called me, so I had to pause for a second. Ooh-wee! Brands. I have always felt, and please take this with a grain of salt, like seriously, I have always felt like in the beauty world, since there has always been so much drama and so much negativity that is filled between influencers and like that, I always felt as if brands should lead by example. And I always felt like they should be kind of like a role model for us influencers. But it's not like that, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong. There are some brands out there that kill it and are amazing to work with. But we're gonna be real. This is the they don't tell you, so let's be real. If you're expecting brands to be fair and share the love, you're gonna be very disappointed. A lot of brands will stick to supporting the same type of content, the same type of creators, and you can't get discouraged because unfortunately, that happens more than you guys even know. It's happened to me. It's happened to everyone. It is what it is, unfortunately. It is important to have relationships with brands. I've always said that. Like, I love getting to know the people behind a brand and the owners and why they do what they do. And 9 out of 10 times, it's always so inspiring. And like, I love a lot of the girls and boys that work at these brands. But keep in mind, to them, it is a business at the end of the day. And also keep in mind that just because one brand is doing favoritism or isn't giving you the attention that you deserve doesn't mean that they're all going to be like that. There are still some incredible brands out there that really do appreciate content creators and all that we do for our work. And you kind of just have to weed through the brands that you want to work with. You know what I mean? For example, for me, I work with a lot of the brands that give me love and give me the same respect that I give them. And I think that has what's kept me sane, because if you're trying to chase after a brand or trying to chase after this, and that, you'll never be happy. So it's kind of like you have to weed through what you want. And I promise there are brands out there that are good. And like I was saying, don't take brand deals just for the money. You have to truly believe in the product. You have to believe in whatever it is you're promoting. Have integrity, because besides getting brand deals, the most important thing in the world is your relationship to your subscribers and your viewers. And it is okay to be loyal to certain brands, and I get it. Like, everybody has their faves. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I've always said. But it's also important to try new things, to keep it spicy. It's easy to get stuck on a product or one brand or whatever it may be, but you want to expand your platform, not only for the business opportunities that you would get, but also to keep your viewers interested and keep them like, oh yeah, she's always using new products. She's always like testing out new things. Like, it's interesting. People want to see that. They want to know your thoughts and your opinions. And as far as growing goes, like growing your platforms and growing things, like I was saying earlier, it is so different now, but I've found what has honestly just worked for me is showing who I am, showing my personality, showing that I'm not this picture perfect cookie cutter person, and don't ever feel like you have to fit into that mold to be successful either, because there are so many people out there that don't like that cookie cutter stuff. There are people that do and people that don't. Just always be true to yourself, and I promise the growth will come. There's no really formula to it anymore. It's not how it was. You just gotta be consistent, post what you like, be true to yourself, appreciate your viewers, and always be grateful. and good things will happen for you. You know what I mean? Make friends with everybody in the community. Be friends with everybody. Be that friendly person that like gets along with everyone, you know, because that's also another thing is like I feel like there's so much like, oh, this person doesn't like that one and that one doesn't talk to this one. Like, be a non-problematic person. It's just better. And also speak up about things that you don't like. If there's ever something that you're like, oh no, like speak up about it. Don't be afraid, you know? Use your influence for good. I've always said that like this community needs more kindness. So like I hope that any up and coming content creator, influencer can help to that because we need more kindness. For like a beauty community, it's actually pretty ugly, you know? Like I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Sorry I was kyakironin again. And if there's anything that I missed or you have questions on, you can leave them in the comments down below. I know a lot of you guys always ask me like, how do I get started? You just gotta do it. There's no right time. You just gotta do it. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Leave me a comment also what you thought about this style of video. Like, do you want more behind the scenes stuff? Like, what's your vibe on this? Let a girl know. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.